Hmm. Hello, everyone. Rather a dim light tonight. And I thought, should I do that or not? But then it looks kind of nice. And so we'll do this short 3-card reading to sense the tenor of the day, especially as we approach tomorrow, 9/11/2020. These Karma Tarot readings are from a Tibetan Buddhist perspective of my practice of over 20 years. But Karma Tarot card reading is not a part of Tibetan Buddhist practice, traditional Tibetan Buddhist practice. So it comes from my perspective. The 3 of Wands upright. The Knight of Pentacles upright. And the 10 of Swords inverted. So if we take this as a general past, present, and possible future, then we just look at the energies that are happening here. And there are 4 different basic energies that we're dealing with in this incarnation, this birth that we have: the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual. And in the tarot cards, the wands represent the spiritual. The 3 of Wands came up, and that tells me there is a kind of synthesis of spirituality, of ideas that we all have come to. 1 being the thesis, 2 being the antithesis, and 3 being the synthesis, the coming together of 3 spiritualities, the coming together generally, that energy of coming together spiritually. That's an energy that we are coming out of. And at this moment, the Knight of Pentacles, the pentacles represent the earth. Jobs, physical things, money, anything that can be touched, hands-on things, resources. And the Knight is very patient and is waiting and ready and prepared. So I'm saying there is a kind of financial preparedness for what is to come and for what is right now. And it is sufficient. And the Knight, excuse me, my throat has a condition. We won't talk about that right now. I'd love to talk about it later with those who are interested. In the suit of Pentacles, The Knight is the number 12, being that the ace to the 10, and then the page, and then comes the knight, and then the queen and the king. Okay, numbers 13 and 14. So there are 4 court cards in the tarot card, the standard tarot card deck, in relation to the 52 card playing deck. There also are four suits. However, there are only 3 court cards: the jack, the queen, and the king. So that being said, the page, that puts the knight as the number 12 in the entire suit, up to the king being the number 14. The number 12 is related to the major arcana card called the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is strung out over a bowl of boiling oil. Sometimes it's pictured that way. Sometimes he's hanging from a tree and his arms are bound behind him and one leg is bent, and the other one is tied to a rope, and he's completely helpless. So that's the sense that I get from any 12, is that there's a helplessness, there's a willing helplessness with this knight. Meaning what? A vulnerability, an openness. I'm going to see it as that. Because we just moved out of this creative synthesis, and we are reaping the harvest of that synthesis by having all the resources that we need waiting on the sidelines and ready and open and willing to go into action when needed. A possible future. The cards don't tell the future. They simply indicate, in a cause and effect world, in a cause and effect universe, if a certain kind of energy is happening such and such a way, then probably in the future it will turn out this way, logically. So it's a logical thing more than it is a psychic thing. I don't claim to be that or to have those powers. This is the 10 of Swords inverted, and the guy looks pretty rough, doesn't he? Yeah. Each one of those can be seen, according to William Lammy, to whose system I ascribe. Each one of those swords is a different little chattering voice inside of us. And the 10 is a number of accomplishment. And accomplishment in the swords being the suit of the mental realm. Accomplishment in the mental realm is happening in that all those little chattering voices have finally been quieted to one superego. I'm not sure if I'm using that correctly. One big administrative honcho of oneself. One has reined in one's mind and is in control of all those chattering voices. However, this came out inverted. And so that's telling me that there is a delay of this happening. There is a delay. Yes. And it could also mean it's just not quite attained. You almost attained it. We have almost attained that self-education to where we can move on without the mental torture we've been going through. This is this is a sign of mental torture. Now, this is personal, this is national, this is global, this is universal. If one ascribes to Carl Jung's archetypes of the collective unconscious. Each of these cards, to me, is an archetype, a kind of aspect of oneself that is universally a part of everyone else's being. And it's being emphasized right now because I believe there is a higher force, a higher energy, a higher self that I have. Some people want to call it your guru, where there's deep trust in one's intuition. And this kind of card doesn't come without a long journey of mental honing. And it's just on the tipping point right now. And it seems to me that we need to remember that we can change the future out of free will, and we can change the present out of free will. And so what would that mean if we were able to change the future, which we are? We're able to turn that card over. It would mean we have accomplished a self-awareness that is crucial to our spiritual path. That mental awareness of the truth of who we are needs to be accomplished before we can help anyone else. So I guess that's our homework. Working with the mind. It just keeps coming back to me. Work with the mind. Work with the mind. Shut down all those chattering voices, all those wild ideas, and I'm not going to say, I'm just going to say, you know what they are for you. If you think of each of those swords as a thought, then you don't need that going on inside you, right? So it's a time to take charge. It's time to take charge of the mind. We are our own worst enemy and our own greatest master. We can do whatever we choose to do, and we will reap according to what we choose, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, I think that's enough. Namaste. See you on FaceTime, I hope, sometime. If you'd like to learn how to read karma tarot cards according to William Lammy's karmic tarot layout, join me on FaceTime. We can do individual sessions, paying by Venmo. The information is at Karma Tarot on Facebook, that particular page with the white peacock. Befriend Mickey Morgan, that's me, Mickey like the mouse, and we'll be on our way, okay? So hope to see you. Bye-bye. Stay strong in the mind. I'm talking to myself as I'm talking to you.